Newark, New Jersey Mayor Ras Baraka is responding to new allegations by DHS after being handcuffed and arrested by ICE agents at a protest outside a facility.
Stop shoving.
Get off of me! Get off of me! Put your hands on me!
The Department of Homeland Security says the mayor was trespassing and ignored repeated warnings. The mayor says he did nothing wrong. He was released from custody Friday night. And Democratic Mayor of Newark, Ras Baraka, joining us right now. All right, I want to ask you about something that happened over the weekend. DHS is accusing you and members of Congress of, quote, storming the facility. And now DHS is saying that more arrests are possible because of what, and I want you to listen to it, DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin told our Victor Blackwell this weekend. Take a listen.
There were multiple people arrested. And Victor, I think that we should let viewers know there will likely be more arrests coming. We actually have body camera footage of some of these members of Congress assaulting our ICE enforcement officers, including body slamming a female ICE officer. So we will be showing that to viewers very shortly.
You say a video of members of Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
I am curious if you've heard anything about this, or did you witness this happening?
This is a complete fabrication. I mean, either she wasn't there and was misinformed, or she's just straight out lying. I mean, you're talking about an 80-year-old congresswoman, another congresswoman, and Congressman Menendez. They grabbed, slammed no one. No one stormed the place. There is a video. First of all, there's videos from all angles that reporters had, as a matter of fact, news agencies. There's a video that shows the beginning of the incident all the way to the end that folks have who were out there taping and videotaping. When this thing comes completely out, you'll see how egregious these lies are. Nobody stormed anything. Those folks, when I got there, they were already inside, escorted inside by GEO and ICE to a booth to wait for Homeland Security folks to come and give them a tour. So I sat in there at least over an hour waiting on the other side of the gate for them to come out, with no discussion, no talk, no one telling me to leave, nothing, zero. And was let in, by the way. So all of this stuff is a fabrication, a complete fabrication. This officer was sent there, the special agent in charge was sent there specifically to arrest me.
Okay, so you said that members of Congress were led into the facility, and they are allowed to go into ICE facilities without prior arrangements. That is part of their duties. You as the mayor are not afforded that right. Why were you there? And you said that there were no issues before. What happened? How did this get really riled up with you ended up being in handcuffs, being, arrested?
It's clear. If you see the video, they riled it up. They escalated. I was there because ultimately we have a dispute with GEO. I've been there every single day in the morning, every day, serving them with the fire inspector and the health inspector, with UCC inspectors. We're in dispute in court, serving them because they won't allow the fire inspectors entry into the property to do their inspections for certificate of occupancy. They won't allow them in. We go there every day and serve them. I was there that morning. I was called back to come down for a press conference that the Congress people were having after they viewed the inside so they could tell us about what was going on. And I was going to participate in that press conference. That's why I was there. And I have a right to be there. I'm the mayor of the city of Newark. I have a right to make sure that people are following our rules, our laws, and that there's transparency, especially in a private kind of facility like this. So I came down there for that purpose only. The special agent in charge who came there escalated that situation. And I'm sure he escalated it because he was told to. And they came directly for me. And this lie about more people were arrested, that's not true. It was only one person arrested that day, and that was me. No one else was arrested. No one else was in a car. No one else was in cuffs. No one else sat in the ICE detention facility or Homeland Security's detention facility but me. That's it. No other protester, no protester was there, no Congress people, no elected officials, no bystanders, just me.
Do you worry at all, Mayor, about when you look at some of the numbers when people are polled and they tend to agree with some of what the administration is doing when it comes to how it is they're trying to get immigrants who are here undocumented out of the country? Are you worried about the optics here at all for Democrats when you look at the way in which people are seeing the immigration fight go down?
I'm worried about the erosion of the Constitution of the United States, the erosion of democracy, this authoritarianism that's coming here. And if the polls look like that, it's because people are controlling the conversation and we're allowing them to. We're making them believe that the only people that they're attacking are gang members, child rapists, murderers, as they keep saying over and over and over again. They're not talking about people that they have green cards, people that have visas that they're kidnapping off the street, or individuals that are in fact citizens of the United States that get caught up into this mayhem, or individuals who are waiting for the process to be finished. That could be 6 to 7 years, who have already tried to become citizens and are waiting for that process. When they make a decision not to allow to go through that process, and they grab them and deport them and separate them from their families. These are more of those people than more of the others that they're talking about. And so when we begin talking about that and changing the dialogue to that, then people begin to understand what's really happening here. The erosion of the Fourth Amendment, of due process, of the Fifth Amendment, of the 14th Amendment. And if we could disagree on immigration until we blew in the face, we can disagree on what the process should be, what our policy should be, and we can't disagree on the Constitution of the United States, on the Fourth Amendment of due process, that anybody on this soil has the right to due process. That's what separates America from any other country in the world.
Mayor, thank you so much for coming on, and we'll be checking back in with you to see
whether the court should do the right thing or not.
I think the last thing you said there is incredibly important. Depends on what the courts do. If they want to keep having one person in some district basically lord over the entire executive branch in the entire country, things can happen, like what Stephen Miller just described there. Explain, if you would, Mahek, what he means by that and why there seems to be a great deal of uproar on the left.
Look, Kevin, I think the first and the last line of defense today are our courts. And when you have judicial activism where courts aren't following the rule of law, then President Trump has to look at every single constitutional option, and it has to be on the table, such as suspending habeas corpus. President Trump has a constitutional duty to protect the American people under Article 2. That meant he invoked the Alien Enemies Act. He was swiftly trying to defend not only our borders, but the American people against Tren de Aragua and all of these threats that we've been facing for 4 years of public safety. The Supreme Court's decision previously has been misguided. The Supreme Court has told President Trump he needs to pause and allow for these trials to occur for every single illegal alien. But at the end of the day, it's public safety and national security that's going to trump habeas corpus. So I believe under the suspension clause, it specifically states, if a president is looking at an invasion or they're looking at rebellion, then we need to suspend habeas corpus. And I think that's where President Trump is looking today. Can we give these illegal immigrants tons of due process? I mean, our courts are going to be backlogged for years. And what about the good legal immigrants that want to come to our country? I mean, we have to look at both sides of this today.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration now threatening the arrests of 3 Democratic members of Congress. Here was DHS spokeswoman Tricia McLaughlin.
You say a video of members of Congress body slamming ICE
That's correct.
officials?
That's correct, sir. It's disgusting.
Okay, and so if you have that video, are you suggesting that members of Congress will be arrested who were there yesterday?
This is an ongoing investigation, and that is definitely on the table.
Okay, those comments are after New Jersey's Bonnie Watson Coleman, Rob Menendez, and LaMonica McIver confronted ICE agents when they visited a Newark ICE facility Friday to conduct congressional oversight. The lawmakers deny DHS accusations of violence. Federal officials did arrest Newark Mayor Ras Baraka, who was also at the facility. They arrested him for trespassing. He was released hours later. And joining us now is one of those lawmakers, New Jersey Democratic Congresswoman Bonnie Watson Coleman. Thank you so much, Congresswoman. I know you've been waiting for us for a bit. Really appreciate your patience. Trump officials have threatened you with arrest. The DHS spokeswoman just said you and fellow lawmakers assaulted ICE agents. Before you respond, let me play more of the video of this incident. Congresswoman, walk us through what we're seeing here, and what's your response to ICE's characterization of this incident?
Well, it's obvious that none of the members of Congress were body slamming or assaulting any of the officers. It was a multiple number of officers with their masks on and with their guns in their holster, taking the mayor away. We were trying to shield the mayor. The mayor was not trespassing. The mayor had never argued with any of the ICE agents about being inside of the property when he was invited to come in and speak for a moment to some of them. When they told him he was trespassing, they told him that in our presence, and he turned around and went behind the fence into the public property. And so what you're seeing is the chaos when all of the officers decided that they were going to just sort of hugely escort the mayor into the facility to arrest him for what we didn't know. And we kept asking him, for what, for what, for what? And so, of course, we were trying to shield him.
This is when it gets ugly. This is when it gets very troubling. Trump is going to lose cases in court. He's going to try to lock up innocent people, whether we're talking about public officials like the mayor, or whether we're talking about regular Americans, or whether we're talking about people that are here legally, but are, not citizens, they're here on visas. Trump is going to do that. And in many of these cases, the courts, including the Supreme Court, are going to go against him. But what you hear from Trump officials, from Trump surrogates when they go onto Fox and whatnot, is them basically say, if the courts won't do what we say, we have to use any tool in our tool belt, including the suspension of a fundamental right. Guys, this right is so fundamental that the British had it. Like when the Americans revolted against the British, right? Back in the 1700s. They didn't start from scratch when they built their government. They did a lot of things differently than the British, but a lot of the things that are found in the Bill of Rights and in the Constitution existed under British law. They just wanted to make super duper sure they would be protected. And so some of the laws, like habeas corpus, that goes back, guys, to like the 1200s. We're talking about laws that even in the medieval period were recognized in England and in parts of Western Europe and in other places. These are ancient rights. These are not modern creations. The fact that Trump is saying to the Supreme Court, if you go against me, I'll suspend a basic right under English ancient law, tells you everything you need to know.